In March of 2006, two former paper mill workers in the state of Maine filed suit against asbestos manufacturers. The plaintiffs allege they were exposed to asbestos fibers on the job, resulting in mesothelioma, a particularly aggressive form of cancer that attacks the lungs and ultimately suffocates the victim. What is noteworthy is that the complaint does not name the two paper manufacturers as defendants. Instead, the plaintiffs are suing an insurance company, a plumbing company, and a number of other businesses that allegedly contributed to the asbestos hazard. The manufacture of paper, while dangerous on many levels, does not normally involve the direct use of asbestos today. Paper making originated in China during the Han Dynasty around 2,000 years ago and eventually reached Europe by the late Middle Ages by way of India, the Muslim world, and Moorish Spain. Although asbestos was known to ancient peoples, it was not then used directly in paper production any more than it is today. The only exceptions are certain building materials manufactured by corporations such as Fiberboard Paper Products Incorporated and Johns Manville during the early to mid-20th century. Where there's heat. Regardless of the industry, whether it's oil, construction, paper, or anything else, if there is a heating process involved, the use of caustic chemicals, or a fire danger, it is almost certain that there was asbestos at some point. In older factories, asbestos may still be in any number of places. This is particularly true in the case of paper and pulp mills, as these industries have existed for decades in many communities. Places where asbestos-containing materials, or ACMs, are often found in other older industrial plants include pipes and conduits, upon which may have been sprayed a substance such as monocoat, a type of insulation manufactured and marketed by the W.R. Grace Company of Libby, Montana, through the 1980s. In addition, asbestos in the form of transite can be found on door panels and fume hood walls. It is also present in electrical insulation, asbestos core doors, and other fireproofing materials, floor tile, paint, packing materials, and heating pads. As asbestos ages. The industry argued for many decades that asbestos was safe as long as it was undisturbed. This much is true. The problem is that asbestos insulation, coating, and cement all become brittle with age. The asbestos fibers then become friable. They flake off, creating dust that is literally made up of microscopic needles that, when inhaled, become embedded in the soft tissues of the alveoli, or air sacs of the lung. By law, only authorized, trained personnel with proper protection are allowed to remove asbestos. Any asbestos waste generated in a building, residence, or industrial plant of any kind is required to be properly contained, labeled as a hazard, and disposed of in accordance with environmental regulations. Who is responsible? Many corporations seek refuge behind bankruptcy laws. In addition, several states require that a plaintiff seek damage against an asbestos manufacturer or the company which installed the substance rather than the company at which the exposure took place, since such a defendant's counsel may argue that management had no knowledge of the existence of asbestos. Considering the age of many paper mills, this can be a valid defense. While your injuries are real and your case justified, you and your attorney should be prepared to do some detective work in order to establish ultimate liability. Thank you for watching. This video was produced by Asbestos.Net, a leading resource on all aspects of asbestos and mesothelioma. Our priority is to inform victims about the devastating effects of asbestos exposure, mesothelioma, asbestos cancer, asbestosis, and other asbestos-related diseases, and to advise them with a wealth of information. Individuals whose lives have been touched by mesothelioma have numerous questions and concerns. Their caregivers and family members also need accurate, reliable information. If you or a loved one have been diagnosed with mesothelioma or asbestos cancer and need more information, we invite you to visit and explore the thousands of pages of oncologist-reviewed material on Asbestos.net, to call our convenient toll-free number shown below and speak with a mesothelioma specialist, or to use the simple contact form found at Asbestos.net to request a free copy of our informative books, custom inserts, and DVD. Asbestos.net, information and help for patients and families.